Hey guys, what's up? So we're live again. I'm alive. Oh dang, I forgot to clean out the mealworms or the superworms. So how are you guys doing today? We're gonna be looking at just females that are beginning their ovulations, they're gravid, they're breeding, or laying eggs. So it'll be a fairly quick episode, and hopefully not too much of a issue. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab my super worms out of their little dish here. Got a new shipment in today of super worms, so I'm trying to feed off what I've got left. I got a couple handfuls left, and clean these guys out and feed them off, and then unload the next box and start all over again. I generally get 1 to 2,000 super worms, the large super worms, every month, and 1 to 2,000 mealworms. And then I will get about 1 to 500 crickets, depending on the anoles, the fat tails, the white tree frogs, the hardwicky, how much they're eating. So it really depends on how everybody's doing in their feeding time. Some weeks animals will go off feeding for a little bit. It's totally normal. If you're on those Facebook groups, then you see all the time people, why is my animal not eating? And it can not even be just because of breeding, but maybe you had a cold snap, something happened where weather changed, barometric pressure changed, stuff like that. And they just went off feeding for a week or a couple weeks. But it's totally normal. So I'm almost done getting these super worms out. And I'll powder them. So, starting in March, we're going to do quite a few more live streams and radio shows and stuff like that. Last night I successfully built a box, same template I'm using for the terrariums, except it's going to be for a storage box at the foot of our bed. We're reupholstering it and making it all cool. But yeah, we're going to be doing some videos on the terrariums. I'm going to do from start to finish. So we'll go from, sheet of wood, how you can build a terrarium for, what, like $40, something like that. I mean, you don't need much glue. You don't need many screws. You don't want to go cheap on it, but you definitely don't have to spend thousands of dollars. And it's really easy to just do yourself. I mean, especially if you've got a Home Depot or a really good... Whoop, jeez. I guess it's time for a new pump because it's giving out some air. Doesn't want to hold it. If you've got a really good lumber supply store with a panel saw, they'll even cut it down for you to your sizes. I think it's like 20 cents a cut at my specialty store, but I have a table saw and I've got a skill saw and everything that I need for building cabinets here in the workshop, just because of all the rentals. My grandfather actually built all of the cabinets for all of his rentals, so I've got all of that stuff. But every once in a while, if you're doing some really, really nice stuff, people will ask me about natural wood, because you can always sand and paint anything to make it look nice. But if they want natural wood terrarium, then you just go there and get them to cut it with their, they got laser guides for their panel saws and stuff like that. It's just a whole lot easier. But yeah. Alright, girl. Gotta get my notepad and document this. What's today, the 8th? 02/08/18 TG 1617 female. All right. Come on, girl. I'm just running through the females today because we're looking for eggs. Got a screamer. I did get a question about animals for sale, so I'm just going to be... I think what I'll do is sometime I will do a video of just the animals that are for sale, and then I'll just be able to link people that video. 16. And that just seems like it's going to be much easier. I'm not really... I don't want to sound like an ass. Well, that's probably going to get my video flagged now for monetizing. But I just don't like doing the whole pictures and nobody actually buys the animals. Like, can I have a picture of it right at this second? Oh, no thanks. I don't want it. Or they just don't reply. Ugh. But shouldn't have a rant day today. I'm having a happy day. It's a good day. But yeah, my wife is really liking the whole idea of putting a bunch of the leopard geckos in terrariums, especially the ones that I'm keeping, and powering down the racks, at least for a year. I'll keep the hatchling rack powered up because we're going to be having babies, but as far as like having 100 breeders, I really don't need 100 breeders. Oh, girl. I'm gonna run out of paper towels today too. I have to go upstairs and get some. Not yet. Not quite yet. Nice little pastel raptor there. Sorry, it's a dull day. I'm just like so tired after work. Hey, what's up, Max? Hey Max, I was thinking when we get back to doing those late night Leo's radio shows, we should have you on. It'll be in March, probably the first Saturday in March. I don't know what day that is, but we should get you on. I don't think we've had a Canadian on in a long time. I think Craig Stewart from Urban Gecko was the last Canadian we had. And that's a great show. I mean, you guys have some really cool stuff up there. And people like the diversity. Oh, she got some stuck shit on her. Where's my tweezers? Oh, coming. You can't run from me. There you go. Yeah, man, you don't even have to be a big breed or be on the radio. You just have to be somebody with geckos. I mean, the whole point is to just get your name out there. That's all the community cares about. I mean, at least that way we can see what people are working with, and then, you know, make a little, like an archive. That's basically what Late Night Leo's is. It's an archive of information on who was working with what year, when, who they got it from. Just some fun stuff. Oh, cool, yeah. That, Blazing Blizzard is gonna really make your projects pop. I think you should totally do the Super Hypo Tangerine to the Blazing Blizzard. Or somehow get Tangerine. Tangerine and Blizzard is a really sought after project. When the Sunrise and Sunsets first came out, I think they were like $5,000 or something, something ridiculous, of course. But now I think you can get them for like $300, which is still, I mean, it's just a Blazing Blizzard that's got Tangerine. I mean, it's orange. Orange is all people care about. Being different. Different's always good. Ooh, we got 2 more eggs. from this girl. Oh, cool, your Tremper's got eggs? That's awesome. I love eggs and babies and all that fun stuff. We are going to need another jelly cup. Okay. Geckos, what's up, Windex? Is that really your channel? How'd you get away with that? I think that Windex would be all over you with their spray, cleaning up that channel. No, no Pictus. Not yet. It's probably going to be, I don't know, a year. Pictus are really, man, I don't even know how to get into that conversation. I'm not even... Holly's Homebred Reptiles. Talk to Josh. Super cool guy. Tell him Morgan sent you. And, I mean, he's got all kinds of stuff. I got my Het Ghost stuff from him. I got just a bunch of really cool stuff from him. Totally cool guy, too. Supers, I give... So if they don't eat any, or if there's some left over, I'll give 5 of the large in the bowl. And they generally will eat 5. Like once or twice a week. Oh, thanks, Windex. I appreciate it. But I will sometimes give like 7 to 9, sometimes 10 super worms, especially if they're really eating. I judge it by each animal. So like when I go through and I clean each animal, I can see how much they ate since the last time I fed. And I always keep track of what date. You know, I write the date, how much they weighed. If they have eggs, I'll put eggs. So like with this girl here, I'll put 2 eggs. So I know that she weighs 52 grams, but she just dropped 2 massive eggs. So she'll probably be back up to 60, 70 grams next week or next month, right when she goes about to lay some more. But yeah, it's easier that way for me. You know, if you just keep track of it, then it's pretty easy. Okay, egg 14. Where's the next? The last egg. Okay, so 33 and 34 are these eggs. 033, 034, 102, 08, 18, 60. Light. These are getting incubated for male because my other guys didn't. 02, 08, 18 didn't work out. Eggs got moldy. Eggs 033, 034 from TG. Light. Temp sexed male. Yeah, I hate it when eggs get moldy and you got to start over again. Generally, what I'll do is I'll incubate all my really important male stuff right away if I need a male, and then I'll do females. Otherwise, I'll do females first because they need, 45 to 60 days to hatch. And that way they can be like close to 2 years old when it is the second season, which is when I like to breed the hatchlings. I like to give them the first season off so that they can continue to grow. They'll go through ovulations and all of that, but it's not as bad as just pumping out geckos. I think that's kind of how I fell behind, is I started doing that. So a lot of people working on the same projects as me are already finished the projects, or this year they're finishing the projects. Oh my god. Don't flick me with your tail. But, yeah, I like being nice to the geckos. Oh yeah. Got some eggs from this girl. 2 good eggs. And who did she breed to? I gotta check that. TG 1346. Female at 54 grams. You use the reptile calculator? Sorry, it cut you off before I could read that whole thing. Reptile calculator sucks, man. I'm just gonna say it. That's like... Hello, I have a question. My leopard gecko has shed about 4 to 5 times a month. Had it for about 2 years. Wow. Was that a question or just a statement? Every gecko is different, if that's the question. Like, why is it doing that? I'm assuming is going to be the question. Normally, that's a hatchling thing, but having it for 2 years, that's pretty crazy. But I wouldn't be worried about it. I mean, like Max is saying in the chat, it's just growing. Like, that's what the geckos will do. Wait, these eggs. Hang on, guys. I gotta find out. I lost my marbles. Give me 1 second. Ooh, that's 1346. Who bred with her? I gotta look back in my notes here. I gotta get my paperwork together. 1346. Where is it? Wow, he hasn't been eating either. That's kind of sketchy. He's legit shedding 3 to 5 times a month and not eating much. I don't know, like, what's your budget? If your budget is good, I would probably take it to a vet. I mean, if you go to Late Night Leo's Facebook group, like the group, not the page. There's a total group there. Post a picture of it. Ask your question, just so that, you know, because not everybody's watching my streams. And post some pictures of it. Like, give the age, the weight, you know, how often it eats, which of course is not much, but, you know, just tell everybody anyways. Because sometimes, especially since I can't see the animal right now, and humidity, like, what's your humidity like in your terrarium? Those are all questions. 035, 036, 02, 08, 18, TG 1346. Alright. Yeah, do you have 2 in 1 cage? That's a good question. Only 1. Wow, man, you've got a... It's good for all these questions though, because it kind of tries to narrow it down to what could possibly be not necessarily wrong. You know, often people will say, "What's wrong with my gecko?" Sometimes things aren't even wrong with it. It's just doing its thing. All right, see you later, Windex. Yeah, I really would have to see a picture. Does he look healthy? Is he like plump? Is the thickness of his tail thicker than the base of the tail? Does he have stick tail? Does he get enough water? Those are all questions. Yeah, you could force feed. There are things. I actually have some things here. It's pretty good, and it's kind of skinny, but not too skinny. Yeah, here's Reptade, immune support for reptiles. And I don't know where you are in the world, but there is things like this. Panicure C. It's a dewormer. This is the canine dewormer. But what you do is you get the smallest one. Yeah, if the heat pack is falling off, then I mean heat's going to be the main thing. Leopard geckos need a base heat, like the very minimum of 86 degrees Fahrenheit to properly digest food. So you want it to be more than that. Because of course you don't want him hugging the same spot all the time, which is probably why he's lazy, is he's trying to get some heat, and reptiles will slow down once they're not having heat. So the heat thing's a good place to start. Also, if he isn't, I also just have a temperature controller. I don't know if as a gift. You mean like a rheostat? It's kind of like a dimmer, or is it a thermostat that actually controls the heat? Like, is there a probe that goes and it tells you how hot it is, and all of that stuff? I don't have one around me, but yeah, if it's a rheostat, then I would definitely get a thermostat. And you can get really cheap ones for like $30 from the bean farm. They're like a lot of times people in agriculture will use them for starting seeds and things like that. It's like a really basic one, but they're really water resistant, so it works great for people with reptiles, because a lot of times you're just gonna have more humidity and stuff like that. It says 1,000-watt temperature controller. All I know. Then I'm guessing it's a rheostat or some kind of dimming situation. Totally post some pictures in the Late Night Leo's Facebook group. If it's falling off, you can tape it to the terrarium. What I like to do is use some metal tape. Let me see if I've got some so I can show you what it looks like. I don't have any around me. It's aluminum foil tape. Totally awesome for reptiles. And that's really great for racks and stuff like that. Also, is it near a window? So a lot of times windows open. I do just falls off. Yeah, try to something to keep that thing off. Also, if you have a heat pad, you want the heat under the terrarium, and you'd want to go with something like slate, like a tile, at the in the bottom of the terrarium, and not necessarily sand. Sand it's like a huge debate. I had geckos on sand for like 6 years, way back when I started. With sand, you want to heat light, because the heat's going to hit the top of the sand. Once you get down about a quarter to half inch into the sand, there is not much heat anymore. So a heat pad under a terrarium that has sand isn't really going to do much. But if you have sand, I don't know what you've got. If you've got sand, just take out the sand, put tile. What's your setup, if you don't mind? Let me show you. Let's grab a tub. Let's move everything over. This is like a basic hatchling setup. Oh wow, this guy's crazy. So what I've got is a meat packing tray. And then you'll put, to be honest, some people use dry eco. Yeah, see, like, totally. There's so many, I'm not against anything. I like what I like, and I don't discriminate against what other people like, because there's no fun in being a sourpuss all the time. But I do bare bottom with a folded paper towel, the meat packing tray, and a dish on top. Somebody's not having fun up there. In a larger tub, I'll put this, I'll cut the edge, fill it with cocoa fiber, and that'll be their humidity. What is going on upstairs? Fill it with cocoa fiber, and then they'll put the food dish outside because you don't want the worms escaping and getting into there. But that is generally how I set up my animals. Very basic, very clean. Brandon, like, in my profile pic. So I don't do a lot of stuff in the terrarium anymore. Once upon a time, I did have huge 55-gallon tank all set up and decorated and all that, but I just don't have time to clean so much anymore, especially with so many animals. But my wife is wanting me to do more terrariums because I'm cutting back on breeding because of health issues. Well, not so much health issues. I mean, all taken care of now, but the doctor's bills from that. So, new heat tape, just don't have the money. Yeah, that's a sign of the times, man. Money is super tight right now. That's why a lot of people, including myself, are cutting back on breeding because it's expensive. I mean, I get 1,000 to 2,000 superworms a month, 1,000 to 2,000 mealworms, and then roughly about 500 to 1,000 crickets of various sizes. And then I'll get like a cup of hornworms every now and then. Hey, a few lads I ordered when European steak can give me problems with health. I'm too young to die. As far as health goes, now everybody does it different. There's people with huge racks in their bedrooms and they're totally fine. I can't deal with the smell. I'm like a super anti-pet person. So I like to have them in their own gecko room. And the chitin and frass, whatever you want to call it, from the bugs, especially mealworms. Humans have a natural allergy to mealworms. So that can be a big problem for a lot of people. There's actually breeders that have quit breeding completely. What is this? This says it's a male. Why am I cleaning a male right now? People that have quit completely because of the mealworm allergy. I get so bad that I get like super bloody noses, and it's just not fun. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about that. Davis Fine Geckos quit because of... Yeah, yeah, he did, because of an allergy and drama. Drama is another big thing that kills off breeders. I don't know how long you've been in the gecko world, but the gecko wars of 2014 really killed off a lot of breeders. I mean, it got to the point where people were threatening with lawyers to sue each other for slander and just like crazy stuff. People would sell animals and not send the animals. Yeah, Sassenbeck had family issues. That I feel so sad about that because uh, previously I've been like a suicide sponsor with suicide awareness and stuff like that, and he tried like I think they said 3 times or something. He had to be admitted to a mental hospital, and I mean, reptiles ruin marriages and families, so you have to make sure that, I mean, you're solid before you try getting in with stuff like that. So sometimes it's just best to quit. Quit while you're ahead and alive. I mean, I don't get to... Yeah, be a maverick. A bachelor. Be a bachelor. When I was a bachelor... When I was a bachelor, I would work all day and then come home and clean geckos for 8 hours in my gecko room, and it was so great. Like, I don't know, I'm just so into it. But now I'm married and I'm so into that and like having a life and going and doing things, like leaving the house. Yeah, Pictus are totally cool. If you go scroll through my albums and you find like Pictus album, I've got videos of searching for eggs and stuff like that. The thing about Pictus is they're not common, but every few years, people who make money breeding animals notice that they're not common and that there's some rare morphs. It's just like cave geckos. And then Pictus go from being $15 a piece to being like $500 a piece overnight, like instantly overnight. And they're super prolific breeders. I had a lot of problems with Pictus overbreeding, like the male would overbreed the female all the way to death, and then if you separate them, then the female quits eating. So it's like she needs to be with the male in order to eat, but if she's with the male, then he's going to overbreed her. So stuff like that, which is never fun. I mean, that's not fun. And their eggs are like the size of a pea, and they're hard-shelled. So you really got to be super careful, because they'll just crack. And also the female will step on her eggs accidentally and totally crack them. It doesn't take any pressure at all to break a Pictus egg. Canadian breeder. What Canadian breeder? Sorry, I was grabbing another gecko. This is going to be this girl's last year. She's... Urban Gecko, yeah. Yeah, Craig is a Canadian. He had some problems with lawsuits or something recently about snakes. Something like that, I don't know. Recently, as in like the last 3 years. Did you invite him to Late Night Leos? I did when I bought the show, but he was previously on years ago when he got the Black Knights. Or the Black Pearl. Oh my god, sorry. Black Pearl. Craig got the Black Pearls. And he told the whole story about he got them from that opera singer breeder that was moving to Australia for a really good job, and you can't take animals to Australia and all of that. So he basically paid, like, he said what would be a house for those, like a ridiculous amount of money. And it kind of sucks because the whole project kind of fell apart. I mean, you really enjoy the show and you don't miss it. Yeah. I gotta get more shows going. My mother-in-law is visiting from Ukraine, so it's hard to get some quiet in the house, enough quiet to do a show. I mean, when it's just my wife and I, then she can go watch TV or watch a movie or something, or, do her nails, and that's easy. But having people talking and having conversations, it's not happening. But I would love to get Craig back on if he would come on. But I doubt it. I don't know, something's changed about him. He doesn't really... Oh, you got some stuck shed on your fingers. We're going to have to take care of that when we're done here. Yeah, he's not really a talkative type anymore. Now here's going to be one of those geckos that I told you guys about, that this girl has been laying so many eggs that her tail is getting kind of to the caution zone. So she's going to need to... Oh, she's laying slugs. I might not finish the whole stream going to someplace. It's cool, man. Thanks for checking it out anyways. Always enjoy support from people. But yeah, this female, she's 50 grams, but because she's so long... Yeah, all the Canadians. I'm in California. 036. This girl, we're going to have to show how to use the Reptade and stuff like that in a video, just so you guys can see how it's done. Because she's going to need a little immune boost pretty soon. Just to get her up and going again. Hopefully she'll stop laying eggs. At school, there's a trip to California, and it's $2,500. Wow, that's awesome. I wonder if they do that when they're having a reptile show. Maybe you could get like the science department to do a field trip to a reptile show. Go to like the Super Show in Sacramento. That's really cool. That's like in the end of September. We did the Vegas show last September, and that was awesome. That was a really good show. I just like going and talking to people. I mean, selling the animals isn't my top priority at a show. I'm gonna go to the White Plains Expo so bad. Yeah, I hear White Plains is pretty cool. If you go there, you should say hello to Pat Klein. He's Dart Frog Depot now. He used to be Luxurious Leopards, like total famous breeder. Would do YouTube videos, all kinds of really cool stuff. You should check out his YouTube channel too, because even though the videos are 4 years old, they're awesome. I've got a lot of stuff from Pat. My Turkmenicus and fascios are from Pat. And actually my clear-eyed eclipse stuff, Pat got a wholesale. How do I sign up for the breeder loan? Hit me up on my website. The Clear-Eyed Eclipse project, Pat got a wholesale shipment from Kelly at Hiss, who's another famous breeder that's... I don't know if she'd consider herself a close friend to me, but we're on talking terms. She's great. She used to own geckoforums.net. Thad from Ohio Gecko owns that now, which would be something really cool for me to get my hands on. But he got this wholesale shipment, and so I bought a Tangelo from him, and he sends me this free, like, super ugly, it wanted to be a bold stripe, and it's a Het Raptor. So I bred it, and everything had clear-eyed eclipse. Like, so cool. So I've just been keep on breeding and outcross. Recently I outcrossed, so now I'm breeding a couple of outcrossing gene pools together so that I can refine it a little better now that I've got more genetics for that project, which is also an important thing. The Hard Wiki? No, they're I'll do a video on them soon. Oh wait, I left the gecko in the tub. I went to go put her tub back, and she's just chilling in here. Wow, we're at 47 minutes. I gotta go in a second after this one. Oh, I gotta set the scale. She's jumping. You're doing tangerine macwiki. Yeah, this is a macwiki right here for you. She's so long and lean. See you later, Windex. Yeah, I finished the stream and I'm gone too. Yeah, and you should join the Late Night Leo's group, Facebook group. All right, guys, I'll see you all later. I gotta get out of here.